seconds away on Studio 5.
I have an idea. Let's go churching. Or maybe you should just go. I'm not going to church alone. They'll burn me at the stake.
Go behind the scenes with the cast of the new romantic comedy In-Lawfully Yours.
What was it about this project that made you want to get involved?
I've been very blessed to have a wonderful career. But one of the things I find and I take great pleasure in is sharing what we do with people who want to do what we do, make movies.
And
who wants to ride with me?
You don't want to ride, do you?
Sitting down with the country music star and her husband, who are back for season 2 of I Love Kellie Pickler.
Did you have a good day?
Yeah,
I don't take stupid risks. I take calculated risks.
Then, he's a 4-time Super Bowl champion, 3-time Pro Bowl quarterback, and 1989 NFL Hall of Fame inductee.
my friends back then judged me and were harsh with me. It ran me off. I got so angry with them.
Terry Bradshaw shares the faith he needed to overcome struggles on and off the field. He's in Studio 5, and it starts now.
I'm Jessie, Naomi's daughter-in-law. I divorced her son, but it's not bad, it's good, because he was the worst. Not the worst.
And get ready to laugh even more. That's just one scene from the romantic comedy In-Lawfully Yours. Welcome to the show. We've got much more on In-Lawfully Yours in just a moment. But first on the rundown is a look at what's making headlines in the world of uplifting entertainment. This is the week's Top 5 from Studio 5.
At number 5. Kirk Franklin scores a #1 hit with the remix of his 1-2-3 Victory, courtesy of Pharrell Williams. The music duo shared the creative process behind their remix and recalled their early introductions to church and gospel music on the Beats One radio show, Other Tone.
I just remember like the fire that you would see in church. And but because I was around it, I just thought everyone had experienced that.
Were you born to be a ninja warrior?
No.
Comedian Steve Harvey comes in at number 4. He recently shared a powerful message he delivered to a studio audience at a taping of his NBC show, Little Big Shots.
Remember something, young people. When you make mistakes, God is in the forgiving business. You just get up. Every time you make a mistake, you keep getting back up. There ain't a person living that ain't made mistakes. You gonna make a bunch of them. I done made 1 million of them. I messed my life up completely. I asked God for forgiveness. He gave it to me. He let me start over, and I kept going over and over and over.
The video is getting attention following an op-ed from Harvey in the Huffington Post. Now on to number 3.
It's not The Passion, too. I mean, it's called The Resurrection. That's right.
Mel Gibson is hinting at a sequel to his 2004 The Passion of the Christ. But following a 10-year break from directing, his latest work is the World War II drama Hacksaw Ridge, which hits theaters in November.
Private Doss does not believe in violence. Do not look to him to save you on the battlefield.
I don't think this is a question of religion. I think this is cowardice.
And the other interesting thing about Desmond is that he was a conscientious objector, and he went into battle without a weapon.
Yeah. As a medic.
As a medic. And what he did was supernatural. And he only did it through faith.
For number 2, we head to Vatican City for Mother Teresa's canonization mass.
After the ceremony, Pope Francis shared pizza with 1,500 homeless people at the Vatican.
The homeless were also given seats of honor at the ceremony. Now to number 1.
Garden and watching it grow, keeping it country on the radio, that's important to me.
But early this year, just as their album, Hymns That Are Important to Us, debuted atop the country chart, Joey lost a 2-year battle with cancer. She was 40.
Singing and songwriting duo Joey and Rory Feek, a documentary on their music, love story, and faith, hits big screens in select cities September 20th And there's this new trailer previewing the film, To Joey with Love.
Oh my gosh,
I don't know if I expected it to be as heavy as it is because we had so much time to prepare for it. But I think it's that heavy when she's that wonderful.
And those are your top 5 for this week. You know, the world of faith films continues to grow, and an exciting romantic comedy is being released soon. It stars some familiar names like Corbin Bernsen, Mary Lou Henner, and Chelsea Crisp. But there is another exciting story behind this Hollywood film. It is the first from Regent University's film school.
Lights, camera, action. Coming to a screen near you is a romantic comedy starring Mary Lou Henner, Chelsea Crisp, and Corbin Bernsen.
I was the instigator, I don't know if that's the word, a producer, and then I played a small role in it.
This was a passion project for Bernsen, and he partnered with Regent University's film school to bring In-Lawfully Yours to life.
What was it about this project that made you want to get involved?
I've been very blessed to have a wonderful career. But one of the things I find and I take great pleasure in is sharing what we do with people who want to do what we do, make movies. What really drew me to the project was creating something where students could truly get involved, and I could, on a very personal level, have this relationship with this entity, Regent University, to see if we could pull it off and make a movie.
They more than pulled it off. Regent students worked alongside Hollywood heavyweights to shoot the film in Virginia, and a Regent film professor wrote the script.
You know, you leave Los Angeles and you go somewhere new and you don't know what it's going to be like. It's a different experience, and it was very exciting to go to Virginia Beach and have so many students on set because there was this general sense of excitement and joy in filming the movie.
You may recognize Chelsea Crisp for her role in the hit ABC television series Fresh Off the Boat. She plays the leading role, Jessie, in In-Lawfully Yours.
Sometimes you get something where the role just speaks to you and you know exactly what to do with it, and it's like putting on a pair of comfortable jeans, and that's what Jessie was like for me.
Crisp joined fellow cast members.
But we went where we needed to go, but we got there in a really fun, interesting way.
At this private screening of the film in Dallas.
You feel good when you walk out of the theater having seen it.
Mitch Land is the Dean of the School of Communication and the Arts at Regent. He's seen his students earn more than 400 film awards, including 2 Student Academy Awards. But this is the school's first feature film.
I think the Lord just put it on our hearts, but He put it on Dr. Robertson's heart at the same time. You know, I mean, this would not happen without Dr. Robertson's approval and support. So this really is a tribute to vision. And one thing that Dr. Robertson said that just inspired me so much, he said, Mitch, don't you think the curriculum ought to be connected to movie projects? It just sounded like, you know, music to my, yes.
And be sure to keep an eye out for In-Lawfully Yours. It is available on DVD and other digital platforms. I've seen the film, and I promise you, it delivers a sweet story and some great laughs.
Still to come, right here on Studio 5.
Look at you being all healthy. I'm like, I'll have the lasagna. You're like, I'll have a blade of grass.
Country Music's Kellie Pickler is here with her husband, talking season 2 of their reality series.
Country music star Kellie Pickler and her songwriting husband Kyle Jacobs are back for season 2 of their hit reality show, I Love Kellie Pickler, and they're joining us now on Studio 5 for an inside look at their wild and crazy life. Thank you guys for being here. Let's jump right in. Why do this a second time?
Oh my gosh, we had so much fun the first time around.
Absolutely.
We are so blessed, so truly blessed, and we just want to be a bright light in the world and make people laugh and have a good time. And whether you're laughing with us or at us, we just want you to be happy. So.
Yeah, this show is all about, it's all about love and laughter, and that's our lives. That's what we love to do. We love to love,
and it's all about community.
That's true.
We take a lot of pride in the company we keep, and And we strongly feel that it's hard to not become a product of your environment. So you should be mindful of the people around you and closest to you.
Absolutely.
And we have such a great community of friends and family, and we get to share this world together and document it and watch it on CMT. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's like a little video scrapbook of our lives. And
I love it.
And our times with our buddies. It's been awesome.
Now, in terms of this season, it looks like some in-laws are moving in, I'm hearing?
Well, they're not moving in.
Not in.
No.
But they did move to Nashville.
They're just moving close.
Okay,
from
closer.
Minnesota.
Yeah.
Yes, a lot closer.
Beautiful.
I'm from Minnesota, and they actually moved from Minnesota to Nashville. And they actually are in a couple episodes, and they did good.
Very nice. Very
and
nice.
I'm teaching her how to say y'all.
Yeah, it's been tricky.
You are the one who could do it, Kelly, that's for sure. Now, there's some...
Y'all are going to be saying too.
Yes. You take us on a few adventures. Now, I think I saw in the tease, you are an Uber driver?
Yes, that is correct.
Yeah.
What are you making that face for?
Well,
I'm an excellent driver. And I have a little bit of a peripheral vision. I can see to that. No, I'd say I got 5 stars.
Mm-hmm.
And in my ratings, but all of my passengers made it safely to their final destination.
Yeah, they were a little banged up.
No, they were not.
What's their response when the door opens and it's you at the driver's seat?
You know, it's fun, you know. And there was a guy that I picked up, and he had his guitar. He was a songwriter, and I was like, "Play me a tune." So he plays in the back, and I'm singing with him, and we just had a ball. It was awesome. It was so much fun.
Will you be my Uber driver?
Oh, you want me to drive now?
Wait, no.
Beautiful. I have to say this. I enjoyed you both on The Family Feud.
That was one of the best times we have ever had in our life.
Steve Harvey is so wonderful.
He's amazing.
Never a dull moment.
Nope.
We just had a ball, and we won $25,000 for the USO. So it was for obviously a great cause, and it felt really good.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Fun.
We'll never forget that.
They need to get a bigger buzzer though, because I missed it.
Well, we are out of time, but folks can watch your show, I Love Kelly, on CMT. It begins on August 25th, and we will be watching. Thank you both. You're a beautiful couple.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
You.
Still ahead on Studio 5.
You don't think that's worth talking about?
When we left Leo's house, somebody said that this is a sign from God.
The journey of rebuilding after tragedy strikes a small town. Meet the producing couple behind The Vessel, which stars Martin Sheen.
Sometimes I think about how different things could be if that wave had just struck in the middle of the night.
If a man murders a child, we sentence him to death. But when God kills 46 children, we are told to praise him.
And welcome back to Studio 5. That was a scene from The Vessel, which takes a look at the journey of rebuilding after tragedy strikes a small town. The movie stars Martin Sheen. I sat down with the filmmakers Julio and Marla Quintana for this Studio 5 First Look. Take me to the scene, the community where this is all unfolding. At the time, the people there are saddened at devastating loss. Am I correct?
Well, so the situation is that it's a small coastal town, and they have an elementary school that was hit by a tsunami. There's Father Douglas, played by Martin Sheen, and he's a priest who's trying to help the townspeople move on. The women, they sort of collectively decided not to have children anymore. All the other young people have moved away, and so he's trying to convince them to have children, to move on.
If we only had a sign, just the tiniest glimpse that they still cares.
Where did the idea for The Vessel come from?
For me, I started to become interested in near-death experiences. That concept was really compelling to me, so I I decided to write a story about a young man who drowns and has a near-death experience, and then see what the implications were to him and to the rest of his town, and that's how it started.
What's your prayer and hope for people seeing this film now?
I think the most special moments whenever we've done private screenings is whenever a young couple comes up to us and says, wow, this is the kind of movie that you hire a babysitter for. This is the kind of movie that my husband and I will be talking about.
Yeah, and I think everybody faces challenges in different ways in their lives, and so I hope that this can provide just a little bit of a glimmer of hope or relief that even the worst things can pass. There is a chance for a brighter future.
The Vessel is rated PG-13 and hits theaters September 16th. The NFL regular season kicks off this week. Fans all around the country will have their eyes glued to the television, hopefully celebrating, but we know sometimes criticizing their football heroes. Studio 5 has a message from Hall of Fame quarterback Terry Bradshaw about his struggles with handling criticism and what it took to turn his life around. Terry Bradshaw, 4-time Super Bowl champion, 3-time Pro Bowl quarterback, 1989 NFL Hall of Fame inductee. The Hall of Fame star's career began as a first-round draft pick by the Pittsburgh Steelers in the 1970 draft. But the rookie from Shreveport, Louisiana, struggled at first.
I was a nice guy, but if you talk like this, and I threw a lot of interceptions my rookie year.
He took a lot of criticism, both for his play on the field and his rural roots.
They call me stupid, call me dumb, because I talk like, I probably talk like this a little bit, and don't talk like that no more. This one guy said, well, he can't read defenses, and so therefore he's got to be stupid. I got hammered pretty good by the media. I had a hard time with that. It was not easy. I remember many a night sitting in my apartment and, just praying to God he'd just get me out of here.
Even some people he was closest to had turned against him.
My friends back then judged me and were harsh with me. It ran me off. I got so angry with them.
Bradshaw was left to face his struggles alone, while battling judgment from so many critics.
We have to deal with our failures and the shame of it all. It's okay for me to fail, but I don't want to be judged by you.
The constant criticism drove Bradshaw to depression.
I had a hard time. I was not used to criticism. I didn't respond well to a firm hand and insults. And when the depression thing came out, everybody says, well, how can you be depressed? You're such a funny guy, but depression doesn't rob you of your personality. But our society frowns on it, and they don't want their heroes to have these issues, but unfortunately I do.
His turning point happened at his home, one Father's Day.
I had one of those great, wonderful salvation moments in my life. It was one of those moments where I knew that God's Spirit had moved into my heart and into my life and had grabbed and taken control of me. And you know what? I couldn't escape it. I learned that God forgave me.
And even today, his life is made stronger through his relationship with Christ and the power of prayer.
Everything that I have done, everything that I do is to this day, all major decisions are all through prayer.
Along with his Super Bowl rings and all his accolades and accomplishments in the NFL, his main focus is found in just one thing.
I know me, and I know my heart, and I know what the Lord expects, and I know what a Christian's supposed to act like. But you can act it, but do you really believe it? And I know I believe it, and that makes me feel good.
And Terry is also feeling good about his new show on NBC called Better Late Than Never. The star joins other big names like Henry Winkler, George Foreman, and William Shatner to travel through Asia together. The comedic reality show is already getting great reviews. Still to come.
Einstein said no genius has ever used more than 18% of the brain.
we go into the Studio 5 vault for wisdom from the elders. Dr. Maya Angelou has an encouraging word for us all.
Magnificent Seven is a story about the road to revenge that takes an unexpected turn. Here's a look at what we're working on.
Sir, I have a proposition. We're decent people being driven from our homes, slaughtered in cold blood.
Studio 5 takes a look at the new Magnificent Seven, starring Denzel Washington and Chris Pratt. We'll explore some new themes of faith in this remake of a classic tale.
He will take everything we have.
So you seek revenge?
I seek righteousness, but I'll take revenge.
Dr. Maya Angelou once asked the question, if God loves me, if God made everything from leaves to seals to oak trees, then what is it I can't do? And her life proved her belief that with God, she was unstoppable. Although the award-winning writer, teacher, and civil rights activist is no longer with us, her timeless words still live on to question the what-ifs of life. In today's final word, she asks us to imagine what would happen if just 1% of the population stopped complaining.
Einstein said no genius has ever used more than 18% of the brain. But today's geophysicists say no genius has ever used more than 10%. If we've been able to stay alive at all, alive and having enough courage to care for each other, enough courage to love, and know that we're probably 1% of 60 million free of complaints. Imagine, who would we be? I tell you one thing, I think war would be laughed out of the room. Just imagine. People would speak kinder, more kindly to each other. Courtesy would be invited back into the living room, into the bedroom, into the children's room. Just imagine if we laughed more frequently. It would be just the beginning of paradise.
I'll be checking my complaints at the door. That is today's final word. Until next time, be sure to reach out and touch me at Ephraim Graham on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and Snapchat. And then come on back and see where Studio 5 takes you next week. Bye-bye.